stories new at 6. Embattled Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard is mounting a re-election bid. Henyard made the announcement in a post on her Facebook page.
Hey guys.
If you haven't been keeping up, let's delve into the saga of Tiffany Henyard, the self-proclaimed savior of Dalton, Illinois, who is vying for another term as mayor. This unfolding drama is packed with political theatrics, questionable leadership decisions, public stunts, and even a federal investigation. As her re-election campaign gains momentum, Henyard is pulling out all the stops, shuffling snow, hosting theatrical Facebook Live sessions, and more. But the big question is, are voters convinced? For the 200,000 residents of Dalton, this isn't just entertainment. Real lives and futures hang in the balance.
Not until 2025, yet Tiffany Henyard has officially decided she wants to stay as mayor despite the cloud of controversy.
Picture this. On a snowy day in Dalton, Tiffany Henyard is out with her entourage, affectionately dubbed her Live Crew, putting on a display of community spirit. Armed with a shovel, she's tossing snow and delivering impassioned speeches about her love for the town, all while the cameras roll. But beneath the surface, this is more performance than progress. Despite her apparent affection for Dalton, the reality is bleak: crumbling streets, financial disarray, and growing frustration among residents. What's unfolding isn't leadership, it's theater, with the town paying the price.
So yeah, keep telling y'all, I never ever found another person like me.
Tiffany Henyard has been spotted tinkering with communication devices in a snowplow, staging her latest PR stunt to present herself as a hands-on leader. Her snow-clearing antics are just one more spectacle in a series of efforts to boost her image. But let's be real, calling out breaker, like she's in an action movie, won't erase Dalton's $3 million deficit or repair its crumbling infrastructure. The town needs real solutions, not theatrics. Why? Is she acting like she's 16 years old? After watching her antics online, one observer remarked, "It's pathetic." That sentiment appears to echo across Dalton, capturing the growing frustration of its residents.
This is your super mayor, Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor. We out here taking care of the business.
The gap between Tiffany Henyard's public persona and the realities of her leadership is striking. While she focuses on orchestrating photo ops, Dalton residents are left grappling with the consequences of her administration's alleged financial mismanagement. Reports reveal a troubling picture. As Henyard indulges in what some describe as an online shopping spree, the town struggles to afford even basic necessities. Government offices reportedly face shortages of paper and ink, while millions have been spent on questionable expenses, including a jaw-dropping $43,000 spurged on Amazon in a single day.
Of tax funds, I think that's the biggest, that's the important business.
It's no surprise that Tiffany Henyard's re-election campaign is being met with widespread skepticism, despite her attempts to brand herself as the people's mayor. Her actions often paint a very different picture, prioritizing self-promotion over public service. From hiring DJs to blast music at town events, to plastering her face on massive billboards around Dalton, her focus seems more on cultivating a personal brand than addressing the community's needs. One resident even likened her approach to that of a South American dictator, saying, "It's like Venezuela. This is what they do, put their faces everywhere." But the criticism doesn't end there. Henyard has also been accused of using her position to retaliate against political opponents and critics. Business owners have shared troubling stories of alleged harassment by local officials after refusing to contribute to her campaign. A trucking company owner claimed that his business license was suddenly revoked after declining to meet her repeated demands for donations. "If you don't play by her rules, you're out," he said. These heavy-handed tactics have left many residents feeling silenced and intimidated, further fueling frustration and distrust in her administration.
This is in Thornton Township, which hit a roadblock tonight, not because of the weather, not because of logistics, but because two trustees refused.
Wrapped up early because
In Thornton Township, a scheduled meeting hit an unexpected roadblock, not due to weather or logistics, but because two trustees chose not to attend, further fueling political tensions. Adding to the controversy is Tiffany Henyard's insistence on maintaining a heavy police presence at all times. Reports reveal that her taxpayer-funded security detail has cost Dalton over $1 million in police overtime, sparking outrage among critics who argue these resources would be better allocated to combat the town's rising crime rates. Former Dalton Police Chief Robert Collins claimed that officers were frequently pulled from patrol duty to accompany Henyard or provide security at her events. "We needed those officers on the streets fighting crime," Collins said. But instead, they were babysitting the mayor. Henyard's spending habits have also drawn sharp criticism from trustees, who accuse her of bypassing their authority to approve large expenditures. For instance, she reportedly spent $85,000 on an extravagant party featuring celebrity performers, all without consulting the board. All she billed the event as a community celebration, many residents questioned its necessity given Dalton's dire financial state. "It's like she's living in a fantasy world where Dalton's problems don't exist," one trustee remarked. "How can you justify this kind of spending when we're millions in debt?"
Two trustees, as you mentioned, did not show up, Chris Gonzalez and Carmen Carlisle. Without them, not enough board members were present to make official.
Single resident.
But Tiffany Henyard isn't backing down. Instead, she's doubling down on her rhetoric, adamantly claiming she's the best thing to happen to Dalton. During a heated public meeting, as frustrated residents demanded answers about the town's finances, she fired back with a defiant statement. "You have to give respect to get it," she said. "A lot of you come to this microphone talking about nothing, which means you really are fans of mine, and I appreciate that." Fans. The reality, however, is far from her narrative. These aren't fans, they're angry voters demanding accountability. Henyard's dismissive tone has only added fuel to the fire, deepening the frustration of residents already disillusioned with her leadership.
Pay me what you owe me.
And it's not just residents calling Tiffany out. Dalton's trustees have been embroiled in a bitter power struggle with her for months. They accuse her of going rogue, making decisions without their approval, and undermining their authority. One of the most contentious moves was her recent appointment of Ronald Burge as the new police chief. Burge, a controversial figure with reportedly inactive law enforcement certification, was selected by Tiffany despite objections from trustees, who deemed the hire illegal. Even the state agency overseeing law enforcement sent Tiffany a warning letter, stating that Burge was unqualified for the role. Undeterred, Tiffany pressed on, insisting she had the authority to make the appointment. This has only added to the growing list of lawsuits surrounding her administration. On top of the political turmoil, Tiffany's personal finances have also come under scrutiny. Despite earning a combined $300,000 annually from her positions as Dalton mayor and Thornton Township supervisor, Tiffany is facing eviction from her rented home. Her landlord, once a friend, claims Tiffany and her boyfriend stopped paying rent in August after refusing to accept a modest rent increase. To make matters worse, the landlord alleges that Tiffany changed the locks on the house and garage, blocking access for necessary repairs. "Just pay your rent," the frustrated landlord said, adding that even if the overdue payments are made, she still wants Tiffany out.
I first looked at it, I thought, what is she running for now? Because that's what it shot.
So, what exactly is Tiffany Henyard running for now? That's the question on many minds, as the latest in a series of scandals continues to unfold. This eviction drama is just the tip of the iceberg, following a string of controversies that have plagued her tenure, including accusations of check forgery and allegations of using taxpayer funds for personal luxuries. The list of grievances against her is long, and it's not just local residents raising concerns. Reports indicate that the FBI is investigating her administration, while former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot was even brought in to assess Dalton's finances. Lightfoot's findings were damning, revealing that the town's general fund balance had plummeted from over $5 million in 2022 to a deficit of several million by mid-2024. How does Tiffany respond to all this criticism? By going on the offensive. In a recent 90-minute Facebook Live rant, she accused her opponents of orchestrating a smear campaign, labeling it a power and money grab. She even hinted at pressing charges against unnamed individuals, though she provided no evidence to support her claims. "Now it's time for me to speak. Truth speaks," she declared. But for many, her words seem empty. As one Dalton resident put it, "She talks, but does anyone believe her anymore?" Tiffany thinks she's the smartest person in the room when the entire room has determined she's a clown. Despite mounting criticism, Tiffany Henyard continues to portray herself as the victim, framing herself as a defender of the people who's being unfairly targeted by her adversaries. At a recent public meeting, she lashed out, saying, "Why is it always me? You all judge me based on one side of the narrative that's out there, but you never hear my side." The reality, however, is that Tiffany has had more than enough opportunities to share her perspective, whether through her Facebook rants, her constant self-promotion on billboards, or her public events. She's never been shy about speaking up. The issue isn't that people aren't listening, it's that many no longer believe her.
From federal entities. Those entities, as we know, can take anywhere from 2 months to 5 years. We feel this option.
Tiffany Henyard's use of taxpayer dollars has raised serious concerns, and it's easy to see why. From her extravagant spending to questionable appointments, her actions have repeatedly undermined her credibility. Even some of her former allies have turned against her, one of the most notable being trustee Carmen Carlo, who once worked as Tiffany's assistant, but now calls herself a whistleblower. With the April election fast approaching, the stakes are higher than ever for Dalton. Tiffany's supporters argue that she's a trailblazer shaking up the system, while her critics see her as a liability dragging the town deeper into turmoil. With ongoing federal investigations and mounting opposition, it's clear this saga is far from over. So the big question remains, will Dalton's residents give Tiffany another term, or is it finally time for a change? And if she does secure re-election, what does that mean for the future of the town? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this unfolding story. Because with Tiffany Henyard, the drama is never really over.